And I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Mr. President, we have listened carefully to the information provided by the High Representative of the Chairperson of the African Union for the Horn of Africa, Olusegun Obasanjo, as well as UN Undersecretary General for Political and Peacebuilding Affairs, Rosemary DiCarlo, regarding the latest developments in the situation in northern Ethiopia. We welcome the participation in today's meeting of the country's permanent representative to the UN. The Russian Federation has been watching with concern as the situation develops in the Ethiopian regions of Tigray, Afar, and Amhara, where clashes have been taking place between government forces and units of the Tigray Defense Forces, as well as other groups that have joined them, including from the Oromo Liberation Army. Fighting around the cities of Dessa and Kombolchi last week clearly showed that a continuation of violence will lead to new casualties and dire humanitarian consequences for civilians. Of particular concern is the ongoing deterioration of the humanitarian situation in the areas affected by the hostilities. In Dessa and Kombolchi, where a significant number of refugees and IDPs lived even before the conflict, the clashes have led to a rapid rise in the number of refugees and internally displaced persons. Due to ongoing attacks by the TPLF, the total number of civilians in need of humanitarian assistance has already reached 7 million. Humanitarian aid to all regions of the country must be increased. We continue to insist that it must be provided in close coordination with the sovereign government and in strict accordance with the basic guiding principles of the United Nations. Mr. President, as we have said before, the divisions in Ethiopia run deep and have a complex historical context. Moreover, what is happening in the country carries significant negative potential for the entire region. In this regard, throughout all of these months, we have called for stakeholders with influence to bear on the situation, as well as the media, to act responsibly, to avoid ratcheting up international rhetoric, and refrain from adding fuel to the fire of the already spiraling interethnic strife. We are convinced also that imposing illegal unilateral sanctions, threatening to use such sanctions, and refusal to provide economic assistance are very counterproductive and will only worsen the situation for ordinary people who are already suffering rather than reconciliation. There is no other way to resolve the conflict except to support national and regional efforts to end the intra-Ethiopian military confrontation and establish a dialogue with the aim of restoring peace and achieving gradual socioeconomic stabilization throughout the country. At various points in history, Ethiopians have repeatedly demonstrated their ability to live in interethnic harmony and build a common state. This was confirmed by the peaceful and democratic general elections held this year. The high level of support for the country's government was also demonstrated by recent mass protests in Addis Ababa. Mr. President, we're aware of the various mediation efforts recently undertaken by the UN and the African Union. Unfortunately, as the situation on the ground shows, they have not yet yielded significant results. In this regard, Mr. Obasanjo, we hope that you, as an honest and impartial broker, will take the necessary urgent steps to reverse the momentum in the direction of peace. All the necessary signals from the Security Council were sent in its press statement adopted on November 5th. We also welcome the work carried out in the region by the head of the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, Martin Griffiths. We hope that these efforts will generate momentum for the work of humanitarian personnel on the ground, including in terms of providing uninterrupted humanitarian assistance. In conclusion, we wish to reaffirm our commitment to preserving the unity and territorial integrity of friendly Ethiopia. We are convinced that there can be no other basis for resolving all outstanding contentious issues. Thank you for your attention.
Agradezco
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for her statement.